For the second day in a row, severe storms are moving across parts of the state a little earlier today. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the latest on this severe weather alert day. Evan?
Well, Steve, we've got 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across the area right now. Our big threat at the moment is going to be the potential for some large hail and damaging winds at the moment, and we've got several of these storms around the region. So let's go to Pinpoint Doppler right now. Here's what we've got. Several severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 2 separate ones right now in Jackson County, both of which take in downtown McKee. First one, the northern one, that runs until 4:45 for portions of Estill, Jackson, and Rockcastle County, though I would say Rockcastle County, your threat is over with that storm. Likely some very large hail just north of 421 with this warning for Jackson, Lee, and Owsley counties. That runs until 4:45. Further to the south, we've got a severe thunderstorm right on top of downtown Corbin. That's going to push off to the north and east. Actually, it's a little bit north of downtown Corbin. That's going to cross the interstate just south of downtown London. Wind is not a huge factor with this storm, but again, the potential for hail up to the size of quarters as that warning for Clay, Knox, Laurel, and Whitley counties runs until 5 o'clock. And we've got one more into portions of Knox County about to move into downtown Barberville. This warning includes Bell and Knox counties, but a very small portion of Bell County just north of downtown Pineville, and that will run until 4:45. So we have 4 warnings in effect right now. It's a busy afternoon out there at the moment, and you can see why. We've got plenty of juice in the atmosphere, temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Combine that with dew points in the 60s, and that is a recipe for severe weather. You can see we're starting to see a few more of those clouds here in Perry County at our camera at Buffalo Mountain. So keep that WYMT weather app handy as you go through the evening. That's something I think you're going to get great use out of as we run through the remainder of tonight. In fact, go ahead. Scan that QR code in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. Scan that with your phone. You'll be taken to a link where you can download the app for both Android and iPhone. You open it up, you'll get our forecast, which has the potential for those scattered showers and storms through the evening. And we'll also see the potential for more later on in the weekend. You'll also get interactive radar and the latest alerts in the palm of your hand. I'll have the very latest on where these storms are moving when we get a break and when more move in coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Multiple police agencies came together this morning at Big Blue Smokehouse in Hazard to talk about the upcoming Click It or Ticket campaign. WYMT's Dakota Makris was there.
The Click It or Ticket campaign is set to kick off May 23rd. State officials, along with local police departments, are reminding drivers to buckle up before they head out. Data from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety shows that in 2021, 806 people died in car crashes. More than half of the people inside of the cars were not wearing seatbelts. Data also shows that 302 of those crashes happened at night. Perry County Sheriff Joe Engel says out of the deadly crashes his office has seen, most would have survived if only they had been wearing their seatbelt.
A lot of the cars now, they have the bells and things that goes off that makes you buckle up, but some people it's just a habit. If you can get in that habit of just buckling up, you won't even notice it and you'll be driving down the road and say, hey, I'm buckled up already.
Police tell me the goal is not to write drivers tickets. It is, however, to save lives. In Perry County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
The sheriff tells us Perry County has led the state during the last few years in fatalities with people who were not buckled up. Well, the project to widen the Mountain Parkway in Wolfe County is awarded to construction 6 months ahead of schedule. Kentucky Secretary of Transportation Jim Gray says the goal is to have the entire expansion project done in 5 years, but he is optimistic it will be completed sooner. Gray adds that the project came in just under the state's budget.
That's a very big deal in terms of the progress on this project. And we've had some really remarkable progress, I should say, on the project so far.
Governor Beshear says this project is a high priority for him and he wants it completed as soon as possible with quality and safety in mind. The woman hired to run a new government initiative to help target disinformation in the United States has resigned. Nina Jankowicz is a disinformation expert with experience working on Ukraine and Russia issues. She was chosen to helm the Disinformation Governance Board earlier this month. The board is an interagency team within the Homeland Security Department. It would coordinate department activities related to disinformation targeting Americans and the U.S. infrastructure. The Senate confirmed an ambassador to Ukraine for the first time in 3 years last night. This comes as a Russian soldier accused of killing a 62-year-old man pleaded guilty to war crimes for the first time in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. The goal of the trials is to prove Vladimir Putin's army has been targeting civilians. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has told Brittany Griner's wife that her release from a Russian prison is a top priority. The top U.S. diplomat told Cherelle Griner that the case of the imprisoned American basketball star has his full attention. Blinken said the State Department has been working on Brittany Griner's case day and night. When he spoke with Cherelle on Saturday, on Friday, a Russian court extended Brittany Griner's pretrial detention on cannabis-related charges until at least June. A representative of the U.S. Embassy tried to visit Griner at a Russian prison on Monday, but was denied permission once again. President Biden welcomed the Prime Minister of Sweden and President of Finland in the Rose Garden one day after the two countries applied for NATO membership. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the two Scandinavian countries applied for membership. Finland shares an 800-mile border with Russia. The countries are seeking fast-track approval, but Turkey's president repeated his opposition today. Joining NATO takes unanimous approval from all current members.
We are open to discussing all the concerns Turkey may have concerning our membership in an open and constructive manner.
The Swedish and Finnish leaders are also meeting with congressional leaders this afternoon. Congress has to ratify the treaty binding the alliance. Pedestrian fatalities in the United States have reached the highest level in 40 years. CBS's Danya Backus takes a look at what's causing the increase.
70-year-old Adolph Lyons was hit and killed by a truck as he walked in a crosswalk in Los Angeles earlier this year. Police released this video in an effort to find the hit-and-run driver. They say Lyons did everything right. He waited at the crosswalk and he had the right of way.
He was an engineer for the state of California, and my brother was a good man, and he was a veteran.
But accidents like this are growing in number. A new report by the Governor's Highway Safety Association projects nearly 7,500 pedestrians were killed in 2021, an almost 12% jump from 2020.
That would be the largest number of pedestrians killed in a single year in almost 4 decades.
What are the factors that are contributing to such high numbers?
More drivers out on the roadways continuing to engage in dangerous driving behaviors, whether it be speeding or impaired driving or lack of restraint.
Russ Martin is with the GHSA.
We see an increase in the number of larger vehicles that are being sold and that are out there on the roadways, SUVs, pickup trucks, larger vehicles that pose a greater risk to pedestrians.
Pedestrian fatalities are projected to have increased in 37 states in the District of Columbia, remain unchanged in 3 states, and decreased in only 10 states.
Clearly, there's a wide range of experience across the country, and our next step as a community ought to be to figure out exactly what some states and communities and cities are doing right.
Martin says prioritizing transportation infrastructure and reduced speed limits are ways to protect pedestrians and improve safety for all. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The report also shows since 2018, the percentage of pedestrian fatalities among children younger than 15 where speeding was a factor more than doubled, with most of those accidents occurring during weekdays. Coming up on First at 4, O'Day's college graduates are entering a booming job market. We'll take a look at the increase in opportunities for new grads.
And a brand new severe thunderstorm watch just issued for just about everybody. I've got the very latest on where the storms are now, where they're headed, and what the main threats are coming up next.